Timothy Omotoso is voluntarily leaving South Africa, and those are live visuals that you're watching at the moment, from what I understand, departing from at the moment, and those are live.
Good afternoon, guys. Once again, welcome to South Africa Lately, a channel that discusses South African trendy news. We do, however, grab here and there from international news when it is trending enough to be brought here. Please do understand that I am not a politician. I do not have deep knowledge in politics. However, I am a South African citizen who's also a voter, and I do believe that my views count when it comes to political affairs of our beautiful country. And that's how it happened, folks. Team Omotoso is going back home, leaving South Africans, the victims of the alleged pity that happened without justice. You know, the difference is the Omotoso won, the NPA failed. Bushiri escaped. So this one is on us as a country. This one is on us as NPA. So it is what it is. South Africa is a whole movie. Like a whole movie, like you can't believe. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave you watching the video clips, and then I'll be back right at the end with my closing commentary. Honestly, I don't have much to say because this is the norm in South Africa. This is standard. People do things and get away with it and run back home, and the difference with Omotoso one is living broad daylight while everybody's watching, while the news is following him around. You know, the news reporters follow the media following him around. So he's going home to chill, man, leaving the ones with scars here because we failed to prosecute. Anyway, guys, do watch these video clips. I'll see you right at the end of my commentary.
Timothy Omotoso is voluntarily leaving South Africa, and those are live visuals that you're watching at the moment, from what I understand, departing from at the moment, and those are live visuals. Seems to be in conversation with immigration or officials, some government officials, may I say. Now, you will know that he was recently acquitted on 32 rape and human trafficking charges after the High Court in Quebec found that the state failed to present a compelling case. He's already spent 8 years in a prison. Now, his acquittal has sparked outrage across the country. But the
understand is that Timothy Omotoso is expected to be on a flight that has just departed from the Kinshasa International Airport. It's believed that he took an 11 o'clock flight from Durban and is expected to arrive here within the next hour. This is going to be the first leg of this voluntary deportation that is expected to take place here. He's expected to then proceed to an international flight to his home country, to Lagos, later this afternoon. So right now, quite a quiet scene here, but we're expecting his arrival within an hour. But what is quite important to understand is that this comes, as you mentioned, final leg of a almost decade-long legal battle, which has seen him behind bars for almost 8 years at St. Albert prison in the Eastern Cape. He was then rearrested almost 2 weeks ago on contravention of the Immigration Act for being illegally here in the country, and the Home Affairs then declared him a prohibited person, which means he's unable to be in this country freely or legally. He's now decided to go the route of voluntary deportation. He will then also only be allowed into the country if there is an appeal to his criminal case. He was acquitted on all of those 90 charges, which then became 32 charges earlier this year. There is an appeal process that is currently underway, and Mckenzie has been lodged with the High Court. If that is successful, the NPA will then have to start an extradition process to have Omotoso brought back into the country to face a trial. But at this stage, he is a prohibited person. He's been arrested for being in the country illegally. His permits seem to be illegal. He does not seem to have the correct documentation to be in South Africa as a visitor or a resident here, a long-term resident. And at this stage, he's now being removed from the country in voluntary deportation. That means at his free will. So what we're expecting here is to see him arrive here just past 12 o'clock from a flight that is departed from Kinshasa Shaka International Airport, will arrive here. He will then proceed to go through to the international terminals and board a flight that is bound for Lagos. We'll continue to bring you this entire process, but also speak with hopefully the police, the NPA, Home Affairs as well, to get a sense and a clearer understanding of the procedure that will be taking place today. But Nkolisi, for now, back to you in studio.
I just want to revert to our earlier story that we were speaking to Hasina Gori about, of course, at OR Tambo International Airport, live on your screens. Pastor televangelist Timothy Omotoso being escorted there, just having come through the domestic arrivals on his way to international departures. He is a part of a voluntary deportation process that is set to go underway. You can see him interacting there with the SAPS live on your screen. So as he makes his way from the domestic arrivals back to international departure, now, we really have been looking at, the reasons for this live on your screens there. Our reporter, Sina Gori, and our camera person, of course, following there. Let's see if we can listen into what, they are asking him at this point as he makes his way.
Is this goodbye?
We are here, Liesl, as you said, getting into security. The last part that we're going to be allowed in, dressed in a hoodie with glasses for the least conspicuous, going through that process. We've been told by the police that this is where we will be allowed right till he's now making his way through security and getting onto that flight that will depart later this afternoon to Lagos. But from his people that were here, when we asked as we walked through, trying to get comment from him, would he return to South Africa? They said that he would. They refused to comment, really. He even refused to comment on his thoughts on the NPA appeal process that is currently underway, or really give any comment, really silent. As you saw, he's been whisking security really tight at this process, trying to ensure that there's no disruption to any of the normal happenings off of the airport. As you know, we are at the international departures here. He's been taken through one side of the area, heavy security. When he was brought in, that Mercedes-Benz being the first car, but behind that, a Kombi full of police officers, but also plainclothes police here that have been escorting him through this entire process. When we were standing down earlier, Liesl, as we spoke live on air, he was whisked away behind us without us even realizing that he was there. Currently, we're just standing here. We're being told that we need to move, but as you can see him going through the process, being checked by security, going through his documentations, being checked, as well as we understand from Home Affairs, who is here currently at the airport. We're going to try and speak to them as we get more information and clarity from them, but they're saying that he is a prohibited person. That means someone who is not legally allowed to be in the country. He's here, his status is illegal, that at this stage he will not be allowed into the country again. But this also is dependent on that appeal process that is currently underway by the NPA. If they win that appeal, they could see him having to be extradited back into the country to stand trial. That's for the 90 charges that he was acquitted for earlier this year. And we saw all those charges. He was found not guilty. He and his co-accused, the judge saying that they laid the blame directly at the feet of the state prosecution, saying they did not cross-examine the accused and that did not do due diligence on their side at this stage. We've been asked to continue to move away from this area by security at the stage, Liesl. So we'll continue. I'm hoping to speak with Sia from Home Affairs in our next crossing, but I'm going to revert back to you in studio right now to allow for security to continue their work and for us to not disrupt their processes.
Sina, thank you. Thank you for just giving us that heads up, of course.
The church cash cow set up nicely. He's going to be showing South African money still, right? Within the comfort of his home. It is unfortunate, but that's how things are happening in South Africa. Anyway, guys, whatever your views are, kindly share them in the comment section. I'm looking forward to reading those. And if you have time and you're on Wi-Fi, kindly watch my ads in full. That support really goes a long way.